All right, it's the game is a game. NFL live stream of consciousness. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, rate, review, leave a comment. I respond to all the comments. If you think I'm wrong, I'm generally right, but then maybe this might be. But how often does a Haley's comment pass through the orbit? Like once every 7 years. That's you know, it's usually when I'm wrong. Usually time's up. But all right, Rams today. They had their parade. I've seen more people in line at the DMV than I've seen at this Rams parade. It was a schmuckery. It was one of those where, LeBron gave them out. LeBron tried to say, let's bring the Lakers and the Dodgers. They didn't take him up on his offer. They should have. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. But hey, Stan Kroenke, he wanted to be in LA. I can't blame him. I wouldn't. If you had a choice between LA and St. Louis, you would take LA. So, but they had the parade today, and Aaron Donald hinted about running it back. I mentioned this on the last one that I think you might have a last dance scenario where everybody comes back to try to get one more ring to defend the title. I can see that makes sense. And then McVay and everybody walk away. McVay talking about family in those terms, I think kind of shocked everybody. And I think that when you start thinking about retiring, you're retired. That's what I've heard that from, I think it was Jimmy Johnson. But when you start thinking about retiring, you've already retired. So let's see. Cowboys played 2.4 million in cheerleader allegations. I don't know. It's the perfect time of the year to dump something like that when nobody's really paying attention to football anymore. Super Bowl's over. So I don't know. It seems like the NFL just has lawsuits. Every day there's a new lawsuit being settled, being filed. You just don't hear about that in the NBA. Every day it feels like there's a new lawsuit being settled, filed, discovery. I just don't know of all these lawsuits in the NBA, but it's just, I guess that's the way they conduct business. Zach Taylor was given an extension. Congratulations to him. I don't think he's the greatest of coaches because he got to the Super Bowl. I think he has Joe Burrow and Joe Burrow on his team with a bunch of other skilled playmakers, and the other teams that he played, the Titans and the Chiefs, should have, and even the Raiders should have beat them, but the ball just bounced their way, and almost bounced their way in the Super Bowl with Odell getting hurt. But to think that you're going to recapture that magic and to extend them to 2026, I mean, it's only 4 years. It's not the worst thing in the world. But they definitely need to improve their offensive line, which is a perfect segue to Burrow has a sprained MCL in the Super Bowl. After he limped off, he one-hopped a pass to Jamar Chase that would have got them a first down. And you have to wonder, was that because of the injury? You definitely have to wonder if that's because of the injury, because I think if they would have got that, they would have definitely kept the chains going and they might have scored on that drive. So, hopefully he says it's not an injury that's going to require surgery. So hopefully he's fine and, everything gets rolling. But yeah, definitely for them in the offseason, um, they definitely need to figure out their offensive line situation. Jim Harbaugh agrees to a new contract at Michigan. So I really believe that he was going to sign with the Dolphins, I think. And then the Brian Flores lawsuit dropped, and he was just like, I'm cool. I'm cool. A man, a 50-year-old man that still loves to drink milk and steak. You can't hire one of the whitest men in the country after after your former coach who had a written record with that terrible roster gets fired. You can't do that. So Les Snead wears "fuck them picks" shirt to the Super Bowl parade. That was funny. That was funny. Once again, I talked about, you've heard it, this is a consistent theme. I rail against the conservative nature of NFL GMs, and their approach is completely different. Give me the veterans. Let's try to win it now. You hear about trades and, oh no, the second round pick was too high for an all pro player. Second round pick that's going to be off your roster in 3 years. It's just, it doesn't make sense. So, hopefully teams will start to follow that blueprint and, be more aggressive to trade for players. Like if you're the Bengals right now and you can trade one of your first round picks for a solid stud at the offensive line position, why not do it? I don't know. Zach Taylor defends the offensive line, says he can call plays to improve protection. No shit. This Zach Taylor guy. Deshaun Watson can now be questioned under oath in 22 pending lawsuits. I mean, I think that's the biggest story of the offseason. Deshaun Watson. First, does he have to do a bid? Is he going to face criminal charges? If he faces criminal charges on 22 counts, I don't know how you're not going to go to jail. But if he does not face 22 charges, if it's found that it's only going to be a civil case, I think immediately, I'm probably guessing that week he gets traded. So I think that's the biggest domino in the NFL offseason. Regardless of whether you think he should play or not, I think that's the biggest domino because there's so many teams in that sweepstakes. After, that sweepstakes is settled, then the teams that lost out are going to have to start making decisions. I read that Carolina is going to be heavily into it. I read that Tampa Bay is into it. So once that situation is settled, then there's going to be a mad scramble, and I think that quarterback carousel begins. So we'll see what happens with that. They keep on pushing back the data. Remember, they said, it's going to be taken care of, and by the end of the summer, we'll know. Then by December, we'll know. Then by February, we know. Like, I mean, hey, it's a legal process, but like this has been going on. It was during the offseason that this story dropped. I mean, it seems to me like they should be able to make a decision on this. Like, I don't have all the evidence in front of me, but if you have all the evidence, it seems to me like the decision should be made easy. So I don't know. It's just very weird. It's very odd what's going on in this one. So I'll go ahead and leave it there. Like I said, starting next week, I'm going to start breaking down. I'll have the number tomorrow of every team I'm going to break down. There's going to be separate videos on just their offseason, what they need to look forward to in the draft, coaching changes, personnel changes, and just overall vibe of the team. So I want to get these all done before the draft. So I'll put that out tomorrow, the exact number that I'm going to be doing towards a week. But in the style of the basketball videos, the New York Knicks one and the Boston Celtics one, I'm going to start dropping those next week. The off season, this is a very highly rated time. People love the transaction. There's a lot of transactions. And once again, like the NFL is a copycat league with the Rams winning the way that they did, trading for the quarterback, trading for the receiver, trading for their star pass rusher on the edge, training for the number one corner, making all these trades. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple teams say, hey, we're going to go for it. We have a pretty good roster. Let's make some trades and let's get after it. So this might be a fast-paced offseason. All right, go ahead and leave it there. The game is the game.
So what's up, man? What's up with you otherwise, The game is a game. Always.